I can hear myself. Minimal, if no delay. All right, smooth. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Aries Bookman, and this is the Guidepost, where I give guidance on Godhood. For those of you who do not know, I am a psycho-spiritual consultant. I don't just offer consultations. Consultations is what I do. Most of the people you know offer consultations as a service to you. Consultations is what I do. At the moment, I happen to also be a teacher of practical magic. Today, I want to walk around something. I want to walk around an idea of being a master student. I don't want to tell you that you can't be a master student, because a master student would be a teacher. That would be my first inclination. But if you'd like to be a master student, there's some things you really got to look at. And I know you feel like you're on the road, you're almost there, you've done so much, and of course, you're the person who's a master student because you know more about this stuff, spirituality, occult. You know more about this stuff than people who don't do it. That was like if, who's the swimming dude who got hired? Michael Phelps. I think his name is Michael Phelps. That's like if Michael Phelps was impressed with himself about his swimming by comparing himself to people who don't swim. Obviously, if you swim a little bit, just somebody who don't swim, your league's ahead of them. Congratulations. But do you think you get to the Olympics, unless you're white, do you think you get to the Olympics comparing yourself to people who don't do what you do? Well, I'm not better than anybody else. I'm humble. We're all the same. If we're all the same, you wouldn't think you're a master student. If we're all the same. We're all master students. Okay, so now master student doesn't even mean anything because you've applied it to everyone. I'm going to talk about it today because not to just shit on you, even though I want to, I really do. Even though I want to, I want you to see what it would take to be something like that. Tierra Blanco, Team Tierra, good to see y'all in the chat, man. What's good? Also, Marshall Ledbetter, good to see you, man. Welcome to the show. Some of the guild in the house. I appreciate y'all, man. There it is. So that's what I want to talk about a little bit today. And look, if you think you're gonna get the 12-step program, right? I'm gonna give you the 12 steps. What you're secretly looking for is someone to tell you what to do. It's okay to want someone to tell you what to do, but you're not a master student, if that's what you're looking for. You're not advanced, if that's what you're looking for. And you can run. You say, no, not me. I'm not looking for nobody to tell me what to do. I'm above that. I'm beyond that. I'm more advanced than that. Okay, let's see. Welcome to the show, y'all. Let's go. There you go. What you do? I bet you think that boat is good, don't you, boy? You've been building it. That's my boat. Welcome to the show. You can't get around this part, guys. You can't. mouse? Here's my mouse. I'm going to let y'all look at that in just a second. I'm going to keep it up for a while, actually. But for those of you who are unaware, oh, yeah, I watch a show. I just don't know. Liar. Okay, whatever. Must just be me, right? Anyways, the Guild. What is the Guild? The Guild is a continuous cohort class. I'm not going to give you a master class. I'm watching YouTube right now. Look at master class. Master class. So many people are calling their class a master class. What the fuck is a master class? Actually, you know what? Let me not just be a facetious piece of shit. What is a master class? So I have some type of idea. A class taught by someone who has an expert knowledge or skill in a particular area, especially music. That was the Cambridge Dictionary. Let's see this one. This is Merriam-Webster. A seminar for advanced music students conducted by a master musician. There's that word master again. Now, to be fair, how do you know when someone's a master? How do you know? Because I'll say it like this. Currently, when it comes to spirituality and the occult, people learning these things, I live by my truth, my reality. Ooh, that sounds lovely. How would you know somebody's a master? Remember, you're no better than anyone else. We're all the same. You're humble, right? We're no better than anybody else. Nobody's better than anyone else, right? So how could anyone be a master? Let me guess, you want that cake and you want to eat it. But Aries, why wouldn't I eat cake? Ain't that what it's for? See, the point behind that phrase is about what it takes to have cake. What it takes to have cake. What it takes to make cake. Cake don't just pop up out the ethers. Master, the person who owns, cares of, for, or controls an animal. Husband, a person who employs a servant over or owns a slave. Ooh. A person who has control over a particular situation. The captain of a ship that carries goods. Different senses of the word. I didn't know there were different senses of a word. I know, you're not a master. A male teacher. A person holding an academic degree higher than a bachelor's but lower than a doctor's. All right, there's a bit of hierarchy there. Hope you're not too humble to stomach hierarchy. A revered religious leader. Ouch. A worker or artisan qualified to teach apprentices. Qualified to teach apprentices. Qualification. See, you can't have qualified if everyone's the same. Can you? Come on, we're going to have authority somewhere. We're going to have hierarchy. One having authority over another. And like clockwork, it's right there, right? One that conquers or masters. Let me guess. You've mastered as a student. Okay. Well, how do you know? I'm curious. Your intuition. You feel it. Let me guess. You feel you've come to the place where you've mastered certain things. That don't sound humble. That don't sound like everyone's the same. This isn't a master class, okay? I know I still have plenty to learn. But the basics, the fundamentals, this is what we're talking about, okay? And then, okay, see, look, don't say what I said. Don't say what I said, because I'm gonna push you on it. I'm just gonna say what he just said, and so now we're the same. No, kiddo. Fuck out of here. The Guild is a continuous cohort class. A continuous cohort class. Aries, what the fuck is a continuous cohort class. You know what? I'm so glad you asked. And mind you, if you'd like, links in the description takes you right to what I'm looking at. You can look at it yourself. Don't have to follow me. God, I really wish you wouldn't. What is a continuous cohort class? Here's where I lay it out, okay? Emphasize direct guidance with the task of practically and fully embracing their own godhood. Now, when you say godhood to some people, here's what they hear. Living in your own truth. Manifesting your own reality. These things sound wonderful, don't they? They sound fucking amazing. I'd love to get to the place where I can manifest my own reality. That's what I'm going to change the title of this shit to today. Manifesting your own reality. Manifesting your own reality. Because that's what people want to do. Among other things, here's some other things people generally say they want to do. You get manifesting their own reality. That's one of them. Learning to control my emotions. Yep, hear that one a lot. I want to become a magical master. I want to become the most spiritual person I can. Gotcha. I want to understand the secrets of reality in the universe. Gotcha. I want to learn to apply this information to my day-to-day life. Congratulations. We'll talk about those things. We're going to talk about all of them. As a matter of fact, the only way we're going to be able to talk about them is if I destroy what you think they are. Because that's in your way. Here, let me switch this up real quick. But anyways, because I want to talk about what I want to talk about today. I'm so serious. And I'm going to tell you what prompted the idea. Okay, who else looks up what the word master means? Let me guess, you bought a master class and never questioned your understanding of the word master. A master student don't do that. Let me guess, somebody said the word astral and you agreed with them, gave them a check, fire, and facts, but never questioned your understanding of the word, where it comes from, what it means. What you mean what it means, Eris? I know what it means. How do you know you know? Did you challenge it? Of course you didn't. But anybody can call themselves a master student, and so it basically means nothing now. Here, this is what I'm going to do as I change this, right? Manifesting your own reality. Ooh, yes. And I'm going to talk about it. Because here's the biggest secret. Here's the biggest fucking key to the whole concept of manifesting your own reality, right? You are already doing it. All the stupid, nasty, awful shit that you consider your day-to-day life is the result of you already doing that. And so some people hear that and they think, okay, well, what I need to do moving forward, I need to be thinking positively. I need to vibrate higher. What is a thought? Okay. Let's see. How are you defining the world? How are you framing reality? Let me guess. Melanin, DNA, right? Cranial nerves. That's physics. That's physics and biology, to be completely frank, if I can. That's physics and biology. Where are thoughts in that? I need to think positively. What's a thought? It's not a particle. You could dig through every brain that ever existed. You could microscope as many neurons as you want. None of those are describing what's called a thought. A master student would have that thought. A master student would think about that. That would occur to a master student. And not just stopping, oh wow, it really makes you think. I hate that shit. Motherfuckers looking for somebody to make them think. Do you know what that means? Do you know what that says about you? You don't know how to think on your own. You don't know how to think for yourself. You're full of the thoughts of other people. You're full of the thoughts of other people. This is what prompted me to do this today, okay? And shout out to Travis Matrix. I like Travis. Travis himself. Travis's audience, no. I think I could even like Brother Yusuf. I probably could. I don't know how long we could have conversations about this subject. But probably as a person, I think I like him. The audience, no. I mean, I hate my audience as well. So there's that. It's not something in particular about them. But Travis does what they call a book, what's been called a book study. He'll read the book, have it on the screen, and you can follow along and listen. And every now and then he'll kind of dip off into a bit of an explanation about what's being read. Nothing wrong with it. I wouldn't say anything's wrong with it. I'm not gonna say anything's wrong with anything, to be honest, because I don't like right and wrong, good and bad, because they're words we use to allow children, to assist children in understanding the word. They're kindergarten level. A master student isn't a kindergartner. Come on. Do we have to reduce the idea of a master student down to a kindergartner so you can understand it? Let me guess. If you can't explain it to a kindergartner, then you're not a master teacher. What the fuck is a master teacher doing teaching kindergartners? Because if the master teacher's teaching kindergartners, who's teaching the master students? Anyways, Trav's doing the book study, right? Fair play. Great job. This is what prompted the discussion today. I go on social media, on Instagram, and there's another dude who he's just decided to start making his presentation of videos. And a while back, Trav was doing Cosmic Doctrine. Here, I'll pull up the book, just in case you have no idea. I doubt you have no idea, but just in case you have no idea, I'll pull up the book. Because I don't even think I've read this book. If I did, it was a long time ago. Dion Fortune. I was going to get the name wrong. Ooh, wait, what was that? I knew that was in the peripherals. I knew that was in the peripherals. Here, I'll double check whether or not I have this in the guild. Because for those who are in the guild, there's a free text library, so you can get anything I put in there. So there, we can do this as well. Okay, yeah, it was already in the folder. Here, I'll put it here. The unfortunate is the Cosmic Doctrine. Okay, anyways. So a while back he was reading the Cosmic Doctrine. And I'm like, okay, cool. But then the dude I'm talking about on social media, I look, and he's reading the Cosmic Doctrine. And breaking it down. And so my first thought, because I don't want to be presumptive. I could be, but you get your ass whooped that way. You never underestimate an opponent and never overestimate your own capabilities. Villain rules. And so I look and I'm like, Trav is talking about that book. I wonder if he just copies what Trav is doing. No. Let me give him the benefit of the doubt. Benefit of the doubt. He's benefiting from my doubt, right? It's cool. I'm not going to say that about you. I'm going to give you this benefit of my doubt. Boom, right? So I let it go. And the guy, Trav's going through the Cosmic Doctrine, and the guy's going through the Cosmic Doctrine. And I think to myself, even though I don't necessarily believe in coincidence at all, I don't like the idea of coincidence. I was about to go somewhere else. I don't like the idea of coincidence. I don't believe it's a coincidence. But benefit of the doubt. Recently, I think it was recently because I think Trav was on like chapter 7, maybe. I don't know. I didn't look right. I didn't look as thoroughly as I could have. As a matter of fact, I can look right now. Right? Duh. And Trav switched books. Now I don't know if he switched books or maybe he jumps from book to book and they like kind of move that around. I'm not really sure, to be completely honest. LVX777. Stalking the Wild Pen. Chapter 7. Okay, look, I know I wasn't fucking up. Travis was recently switched to Stalking the Wild Pendulum. I don't know if they go from book to book to book. Actually, let's go ahead and look that up. And so Trav goes to this book, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. Looks like they moved up to the next book. Bet, that's what's up. But then I open up social media. And guess what book old dude is on? Stalking the Wild Pendulum. Server busy? No, Amazon, I am a robot. So there you go, Amazon US. Stalking the Wild Pendulum. February 1st, 1988. Uh-oh, that's 20 days before the day of my birth. Uh-oh, interesting. Anyway, so I see old dude, he's reading this book now, right? And I think to myself, okay, now, look, come on. All right, still in the realm of benefit of the doubt, right? So I hit the comments. Isn't Trav talking about that book? And quite proudly. Yeah, man, it's fire. We just did a book study. Yeah. See, that's not what master students do. They hear something new, and all of a sudden they're ready to start trying to teach. That's not what a master student does. If you remember, I did an episode talking about Terrence Howard and his revelations, correct? Actually, let me see if I can find a PDF of this. And one of Terrence's biggest issues is that he didn't have any space to learn because he was spending too much time trying to teach. He was spending way too much time trying to teach. And this is what stops a lot of y'all from ever becoming master students. One of these days I gotta get Scribd. I used to have it when it was free, but it's not free anymore. So I don't have it. Ha! There we go. See, I knew I was gonna get it. Stalking the Wild. Is that the motherfucker's name? Itzhak bin Tov. Whoo! Boy. I wonder if Trav says the name. I can't say that name, but he be saying the Sanskrit word, so maybe he can do that. I can't say that name. I'll put that in the guild later if I remember. Anyways, because like I said, I'm ranting a bit today. What stops a lot of y'all from being master students is you're too busy teaching to learn. You hear it, feel good, and then just start running to people, trying to communicate this to people who don't do it. Your emotions get the better of you. Your emotions get the better of you. And I get it. You want to be a master in this. That's fine. The world don't give a fuck about what you want, about what you feel. That's your shit. See, the master student is consistently contending with what they want and feel. Why? To put it to the side, to get it out of the way. Here, look. Here's a little window, right? And there's two pieces of glass in here. You may not be able to tell just looking at it immediately. Look at that, 2 pieces of glass, right? Here's what you want, here's what you feel. And they're in your way. And you're always looking at everything through the lens of what you want and what you feel. And this is why you won't make it as a master student. I'm not saying don't have wants and feelings. What I'm saying is you need to get them out of your way. Like I said, manifesting your own reality. The trick is you've always been doing it. But you haven't changed how you see you. You have new words for it, but that's not it. It's just like coloring Jesus chocolate didn't change how you think. And that's what you want to be doing. Changing how you think. This is why I wanted this image up here. This is why I wanted this image. Okay. I think I'm going to stick with this. Oh, forgot to introduce. I really do need to name them. I just have too many kids. But it's my duty as their father to name them. That is a thing. So I won't deny you that. Manifesting your own reality. This endeavor is not to change what you think specifically. It's to change how you think. This is not to change what you think. It's to change how you think. Well, Aries, how do I change how I think? The first thing you have to do is actually look at it. See, look, on first examination, you see the nice little flower picture at the beginning, right? There you go. But to change how you think, you're going to have to look at it differently. Not just look at it with different words. Not just call the flower a plant. Oh, look at that. New word. Oh, call the flower a sacred unfolding. Oh, look at that. New word. This isn't to change what you think. You have to change how you think. You need to look at it in different ways. I mean, the boy was sitting there on social media. You got to know the language of the universe. It's signs and symbol. And he pointed to the same thing, right? This is a sign. This is a symbol. No distinction between the two. Let me guess. There isn't one? Signs and symbols are the same thing, right? No. Let's walk through it, guys. Let's walk through it a little bit. Because I don't want to just say it. I want you to see. And it can be as easy as, once again, you need to learn to question your own understanding of a subject. When you're impressed with yourself by doing something that people who aren't interested in don't do, you don't develop. You feel like you do because you're comparing yourself to people who don't do this work. And so you're not developing. And you're so impressed with yourself, guys, you can't even hear when someone is more advanced than you. You can't even hear when someone is more advanced with you because your head is so far up your own asses. I'm going to put sign there. As I've said before, guys, two things that are similar are not the same. Remember, we're talking about how to manifest your own reality. Right? Let me guess, the 7 steps. Tell me what to do, Aries. You wouldn't even understand it. Here's an example. I'm not good at fixing cars. As a matter of fact, I know enough to know I'm not good at it at all. And I'm not going to play myself. So if somebody gave me the instructions, the 7 steps to change my transmission, well, you know what? I wouldn't even understand what they're telling me. Have you ever considered, as you search, as you go from place to place, trying to find the steps on how to do this work, that maybe you ain't even fit yet to understand? That maybe your dumb ass don't have the capacity yet to understand? No, right? No, right? Of course not. Boom. Mark and recognition here, some place for notion. A display using a character signal. Authority of summary fit documents and the standards suggests the else reason relationship association convention. That's close. That's what you want though. An arbitrary conventional sign used in writing or printing. Let's see if I can find it here. I'm looking for it. German Shepherd is a dog. But a dog isn't necessarily a German Shepherd. Let me guess, that's easy to understand, right? A symbol is a sign. A sign isn't necessarily a symbol. A symbol can be a sign. A sign is not necessarily a symbol. No, I'm not going to use that. There's going to be some, I was going to put slippery when wet, but there's going to be some gutter. There's going to be some gutter interpretation of that. What's the sign that I can think? Gotcha. Boom. Easy one, right? The word stop is on there. It's giving you a command. It's telling you when to do something. Remember, you're listening to the Bible. The signs for the seasons. Okay? So it's right there on there. Now, look at that. You see the hand? It's using a symbol to help you understand it. This is a sign. What's a good symbol? Here's one everyone knows. It's not telling you when to do something, where to do something. It's pointing to a whole other concept. A sign is not pointing to a whole other concept. It's giving you, it's demarking a distinction. This is ended, this is begun. Like let's say the sign for the beginning of the Kali Yuga. Okay? The sign for the beginning of the Iron Age. Signs and symbols are different things, okay? It's a subtle distinction, but you want to pick up on these things as a master student. So, okay, no, I'll say that. You're going to need to become a master student in order to begin manifesting the reality you want in the way you want. You're going to need to be a master student in order to begin manifesting your reality the way you want. Because like I said, you've already been manifesting your reality. But the reason you're here trying to learn how to do it is because it's not the reality you want. Fair play. Fair play. We're back to what you want. That shit will have initiates going in circles. Because they're trying to figure out how manifesting your reality works, but they're inundated, engrossed. We gotta look at the word inundated. Sorry. They're drowning in their own wants and feelings. Let's see if I spelled it right. Aha! Yes, I did. Overwhelmed. To cover with a flood. To cover with a flood. Okay? Just look, man. This stuff isn't as simple as having read books. Comprehending this subject matter is not as simple as having read books. You have to change how you think. Because I love this. It's so pertinent. As you're doing this work, the world isn't changing. It's already perfect. The balanced universe, it's already perfect. What's changing is you. What you mean, Aries? Well, what is you? I don't know. Well, that's your problem. See, some students who'd like to be master students will hear that. Will hear that statement or question, what is you? And they hear the question with the school trauma, you're thinking there's a right answer to this question. Mm-mm. There needs to be an answer to the question, and not just any answer, not just an arbitrary answer. There needs to be an answer to the question that has enough integrity to substantiate everything else. There needs to be enough integrity in your answer to substantiate everything else. It needs to have a bit of coherence to everything you believe. God, belief. Like I said, I'm ranting today. I'm walking around this bush. Because there's more than just the surface level of this which is bothering me. And I have to find exactly what it is. Belief. In the guild. It's a 3-month course, okay? It's a 3-month course. I like, instead of course, I love to describe it as an expedition. I love to describe it as an expedition. I have a very minimal syllabus. Why? Because if I give you a syllabus, you'll follow the syllabus and you're not going to listen to what I'm telling you. You're going to try to run ahead. You're going to think, I understand this, like you do with everything. You're going to think, I understand this because I feel a certain way looking at it. And you're going to be wrong. This isn't a personal shot at you, although I'd like it to be. It's It's what students go through. You'll hear the concept of a rebirth. In a rebirth, you start as a child. In a rebirth, you start as a child. That don't mean you teaching. That don't mean you're qualified enough to give out tips and hints and explanations. For a long time, a child can't even talk. That's part of the initiation process. You gotta shut the fuck up. You can't be teaching people what you learn. Not because it's secret or hidden. You're wasting your time. And if you can't see that, which is what you learn in the silence, if you can't see that, you're not even on your way to being a master student. You're changing how you think. So belief. One of the first things we do, and it's a constant theme throughout the entire expedition in the guild. What do you really believe? Because talk is cheap. We know talk is cheap. Anyone can say anything about anything, anywhere, at any time. And never have to be accountable for it. Talk is cheap. That's why everybody does it. What do you really believe? Just saying it confidently with your chest doesn't mean you believe. I get it feels like that. When you say something confidently with your chest, it feels like you believe it. That's not the case. Finding out what you believe isn't a series of statements that you say confidently. It's a quest. It's a journey. Often tried, never denied, and willing to be tried again. If you're above debating, if you're above back and forth, you'll never get there. You can tell me I don't know and go ahead and keep following your feelings. But that's the only place you're going to end up is where your feelings are going to take you. You're not going to end up where you need to be. Feelings don't take you where you need to be, especially not for a child. Right? Think about children. Do we let their feelings take them wherever they want to go? No, because they're going to end up in the back of somebody's fucking van. Because that motherfucker told them they got candy and puppies. If they were progeny, good to see you in the chat, man. Gilded Gang. Yes, sir. No, go do your thing. This is why it's recorded, bro. It's recorded. Take care of what you got to do. Come back. Some people be like, I finally caught the live. I'm like, okay, what difference does it make? You going to ask a question? Yeah, man, you don't need to catch the live. We don't let children let their feelings take them wherever they want to go. You have to, there's a rebirth that you not only have to go through once, you're going to go through over and over and over again. Moving based on how you feel is going to fuck you. I know from experience. I'm telling you, I guarantee you, moving based on how you feel will fuck you. Look, don't have me say it. This is what I gotta do. This is the perfect place to go ahead and put this right here. Because look, motherfuckers are inundated in their emotions. Inundated in their emotions. You relabel your emotions as intuition, That don't change what's going on. Fuck. That's just different packaging. It's the same nasty chip brand in that bag. It's the same chips in that bag. They just rebranded it. Well, who is they? You! Your dumb ass. Look, you can't follow your emotions. Hold on.
And if everybody agreeing on the same thing, somebody wrong. You see? Check? Check. All right then. They play on your emotion. Saying nothing well and playing on your emotion. Tell a person what they want to hear and say nothing well. You can say nothing if you can say it well. They play on your emotion. And that's the problem with our people. They have been teaching you what you wanted to hear and not what you really needed to hear because they didn't know what you really needed to hear. That's called the art of public speaking.
You know what a master student can do that just a plain old regular beginner student can't? Is discern, distinguish. Ever heard the saying, when the student is ready, the master appears? A master student can recognize that. Do you know why? Because they're not just following how they feel. Because this will happen. You follow what you feel. You follow how you feel, right? What's going to happen is somebody going to walk around and say what you wanted to hear. You the chosen one, family. I felt so rejected by everyone I knew. I knew deep down I was always special. This is confirmation. Somebody gonna come along and tell you what you wanted to hear. And you gonna go. Look at them babies. Here come the stranger in the trench coat with the van. You like candy and puppies? What that baby gonna say? Oh yeah! I love candy and puppies. That's my favorite thing. You the chosen. Welcome, family. Right? That's what's going to happen. You get out here following your emotions and don't know how to check yourself. Oh, I know how to check myself, Harris. Obviously, I bet if I ask the baby, you ask that baby before they get taken, if they understand, what they gonna say? Why? What they gonna say? Yeah, I understand. Why they gonna say that? Because that's what they like to think. That's what they want to think. They're not gonna challenge themselves as to whether or not they understood. That's what a master student does. The time y'all taking to be out here teaching and giving hints is the time you need to take to question whether or not you understood what you were told at all. I heard someone say that yesterday. Your intuition is that inner feeling. Well, exactly. They just rebranded feelings with a spirity sounding word. Where's the thing I had on intuition? Damn, I gotta fuck it. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here, let's see what this has to say. Let's see what this has to say. Once again, I've told you guys to go listen to John Vervaeke's The Meaning Crisis. Because I don't tell you just listen to me. I don't want you to follow me. I don't want you to repeat me. I want you to dive in and begin your quest of seeking. Begin your quest of seeking. Here, let's listen to this real quick. Excuse me, Bobby, because you know I'm going to play it again. Let's listen to this real quick, bruh. Because I pull this out because I know intuition just gets thrown out there to validate people's bullshit.
That in and of itself would be great. There's something else going. This has to do with your capacity for implicit learning. Now notice what's happening here. Notice that although even I'm doing the history, I'm always also doing the cog sci. Because while I'll be emphasizing the history, the historical account, I'm starting to build what I need to give you the structural functional account. Okay, so implicit learning. This goes back to work done in the 60s by Arthur Reber and a whole bunch of other people. So what Reber was doing is he was originally trying to understand how people learn language. What he was doing was he was generating an arbitrary set of rules, completely arbitrary, just make them up on the spot, set of rules for how you can link strings of letters and or numbers together. Like the rule might be you can't have more than 3 vowels in a row, or you have to have 2 consonants, and then you generate letter strings. 8, 9 long. These are so long that you can't sort of easily hold them in your working memory. And then this is what you do. You generate an indefinite number. You generate a huge number of these strings, and you just show them to people. Here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one. Okay, that's the first part of the experiment. Then you do the second part of the experiment. Now you generate a whole bunch of strings, but 2 kinds. One set of strings is generated by that artificial set of rules, and so follows the same rules as the first set. And then the second set is generated by complete. There you go. Now, Reber originally thought what would happen is people would, because it seems like so random. What he found was people score well above chance consistently on this. People can tell you, oh no, those strings, yeah, those belong with the old ones. No, that one doesn't. That one does, that one doesn't. Now here's what's interesting. You now ask people, why? How do you know that? And they'll give you one of 2 answers. They'll say, I don't know. I don't know. I just feel it. Which is, woo. Or they say, they give you some explanation. They'll give you some rule or procedure they're using, and here's what we know. They're deceiving themselves or lying to you because that rule that they're using wouldn't actually predict their success.
In case you couldn't follow what just happened, in case you couldn't follow what he was saying, here, I'll give you a personal example here, all right? Because it's okay to say, I didn't understand. It's fine. Because that's part of the reason I skipped ahead in the video, because he was going to spend a lot more time explaining the experiment. I didn't want to leave that to you. Look, what he's talking about here is called implicit learning, all right? Where you're learning things and you don't necessarily know the mechanics of how you know what you claim to know, okay? Here, let's do this. What he was doing, he was giving people sets of generated words, sets of randomly generated words. And he would have them look at the words, have them look at the sets, and say, which one belongs with which? And people would consistently make the same moves. Like here, for example. I want you to guess. Because I've been writing this story, and I have these 2 characters in it, right? One of them is a porcupine, and one of them is a beaver. Can you guess whose name is which? Zencho and Bencho. It's a story about a porcupine and a beaver. Which name is which? And see, maybe you look, okay, Aries is going to try and trick me, so I'm going to pick the opposite one. You failed and you did what I thought you was going to do. Look, there's no story about a porcupine or a beaver. It's to make the example. Stop trying to be clever. Look, consistently, people will pick Zencho for something like a porcupine. Why? That Z at the front sounds sharp. That B in Bencho sounds round, smooth. Beaver, porcupine. This is implicit learning. We do things like this automatically. It's at a level of our own analysis that we don't readily examine. And so because we don't readily examine it, when people are asked about it, either they don't know how to explain it, they just feel it, or they start making up arbitrary, ridiculous rules. That's what intuition is. Here, let's continue a little bit, because I want you to hear the rest of what he's saying. Quit trying to get ahead. Fuck. Quit trying to get ahead. Where are you going? I don't know. Well, what makes you think you need to get there so quick? Sit the fuck back.
So you are picking up, you have this tremendous capacity outside your conscious awareness, right, to pick up on very complex patterns in your environment. And you say, okay, why? What does this have to do with shamanism? Well, hang on, because we talked about the shaman picking up on patterns last time. Let's go back to this. Let me talk about an experiment that's really interesting. So there was some work done on this idea, that people have psychic abilities, and there's the feeling of being stared at. People can tell when they're being stared at. And people reliably report that they think, oh, I knew somebody was staring, I could just feel it in the back of my neck and stuff like that. And so they ran an experiment in which they did the following. They'd have somebody in a room, blindfolded, earplugged, they can't sense anything, nobody's allowed to wear perfumes or anything. That person can't see or hear or feel, and they're just standing in the room. Unbeknownst to that person, people would come in and stare at them. And then they had to report if the person at the center of the room had to report if they were being stared at or not. And people were reporting this well above chance. They were saying, I think I'm being stared at. And there was somebody there. And of course, first of all, they was, ooh, right. But then it turned out
Maestro, good to see you in the chat. Welcome to the show. All right, look, so far, because I want you to follow what he's saying so you understand why I'm showing you this in relationship to the idea of intuition. I know that intuition feels and sounds great. And you're not the kind of person who would just believe in it because it feels and sounds great. You're above all those religious people who are just in church because it feels good for them. You are a scientist, right? Okay, come on. Look, the experiment they did. All right, he said they were reporting well above chance. Well above chance meaning these people in this experiment would say, I'm being stared at. Often enough that it was above the threshold of what we would consider just random chance. They were consistently getting it at a very high rate. Okay, so that's what the experiment was at first. They were sitting there, perceptions, no, they couldn't hear, couldn't see, couldn't feel anything, couldn't smell anybody. And they'd sit there, somebody come in the room, look at them. I can feel someone looking at me. It's my intuition. Okay, cool. Look, that's what the experiment showed at first. Boom, right? Let's continue, because you're a scientist. You're above believing what feels good. Yeah, whatever.
that if you made a slight change to that experiment, it wouldn't replicate. So what was going on? You bring people into the room, and they say, I think I'm being stared at, and the researchers would tell them if they were correct or not. They would say, you're right, or you're wrong. So what? You say, so what? Well, here's the thing. The researchers thought they were introducing people, the viewers, into the room randomly. But it turns out they weren't introducing them randomly, because you know what's very hard for you to do? Random stuff. They were actually introducing people as viewers in a complex pattern. And the person that was blindfolded and earplugged was implicitly learning the pattern because they were getting feedback. If you take the feedback away, if you don't tell them, whenever they say, I'm being stared at or not, if you don't tell them they're right or wrong, their performance drops to chance.
I want you to understand the distinction that was made in the experiment. Once again, we're talking about intuition, right? Come. See, I'm not just trying to tell you it's fake. There's no nuance in that discussion. There's no nuance in that answer. There's something there, but you got to understand what it is. You want to look at it and not just feel your way through it. What was happening? The people, remember, blindfolded, can't hear, can't feel anything. When that person would say whether or not they felt like they were being looked at, those who were running the experiment would give them feedback. They would say, yes, you're right. No, you're wrong. Here's another idea of feedback, right? Check. Fire. We tapping in. How many times have you been in a group, gave your 2 cents, even though deep down you really think that 2 cents worth about $3.50, but it's just that nobody was able to value your information, right? Then you walk in that nice little circle jerk, that little group of people who will never disagree with you, and what do you get? Feedback. Feedback. The people in the experiment, what they were picking up on was a complex pattern. They were picking up on a complex pattern at a level of analysis that was not just simply their conscious awareness. It's called implicit learning, where you're able to, this piece of meat is made to pick up patterns. It's made hundreds of millions of years, made to pick up patterns. You don't have to spookify shit that's mundane. Al Dickey, morning, good to see you in the show, man. Relax You Good 11. What's good, Aries? Just joined the live. Congratulations, welcome to the show. Make sure you're listening. Intuition and your feelings. Because if you ask these people how they knew I'm being looked at, what they gonna tell you? Either I don't know, or I just feel it. I just feel it. And now your feelings are magical. No, your feelings are not magical. Your feelings are not magical. I know you want them to be because you want them to be valid. You're doing the same thing as they do in the church. They there and they taking and they listening because it feels good to hear what they're hearing. There you go, Pastor. That's right. I know somebody need to hear this sermon. What you do in your little group of people who none of them disagree with you, right? Check. Fire. We tapping in. I wish them dead niggas would listen to this. I'm getting it now. I'm getting it. It's all so clear to me. Slow down, kiddo. Your feelings are not magical. Let's finish this out real quick. You know what? No. I'm going to give you this. Hold on.
And if everybody agreeing on the same thing, somebody wrong. You see? Check? Check. All right then. They play on your emotion. Saying nothing well and playing on your emotion. Tell a person what they want to hear and say nothing well. You can say nothing if you can say it well. They play on your emotion. And that's the problem with our people. They have been teaching you what you wanted to hear and not what you really needed to hear because they didn't know what you really needed to hear. That's called the art of public speaking. They play on your emotion. So that's getting your emotion up to a certain level and you thinking that's spiritual, that's emotionalism. They play on your emotion. And they'd come up and they would come into some stuff and they would be talking all this good stuff and people, yeah. But everybody's ignorant. You see what I'm saying? They play on your emotion. And if everybody agreeing on the same thing, somebody wrong. You see? Check? Yeah. All right then.
I don't just keep playing that arbitrarily. I'm so serious. I'm so serious. You cannot confuse your feelings for facts. Just because you feel good hearing something don't mean it's good. Just because you hear what you really wanted to hear don't mean it's good at all. Thank you, love. So we're talking about intuition, okay? Among other things, because I'm kind of ranting today, to be completely honest. Look, because you're going to hear everybody hype you up about your intuition, right? And then you're going to hear that feel good and just start telling other motherfuckers. Just the fuck up about fucking intuition. Is that video still up? Damn it, I didn't keep it up. Hold on, let me do this. I'll go back to it. Yeah.
To that experiment, it wouldn't replicate. So what was going on? You bring people into the room and they say, I think I'm being stared at, and the researchers would tell them if they were correct or not. They would say, you're right, or you're wrong. So what? You say, so what? Well, here's the thing. The researchers thought they were introducing people, the viewers, into the room randomly. But it turns out they weren't introducing them randomly, because you know what's very hard for you to do? Random stuff. They were actually introducing people as viewers in a complex pattern. And the person that was blindfolded and earplugged was implicitly learning the pattern because they were getting feedback. If you take the feedback away, if you don't tell them, whenever they say, I'm being stared at or not, if you don't tell them they're right or wrong, their performance drops to chance. See, a lot of what looks like psychic abilities are your ability to pick up implicitly on complex patterns in the environment without being aware of it. So, Hogarth, in his book on educating intuition, makes a really cool claim. Makes a very good argument, in fact, I think, for this. He says that what we call intuition is a real thing, but there isn't anything sort of magical about it, like the psychics say, or something like that. Your intuition is the result of your implicit learning. You pick up on all kinds of complex patterns, not knowing how you have done that, but you get an ability to detect patterns, and you don't know how. That's why your intuition feels the way it does. You just sort of know. Like, you know things, you're doing it all the time. To use a famous example from Dreyfus, you know how far to stand from somebody. And what angle to like where you should stand, how close you should stand, what angle you should stand, how, as the conversation or the context changes, you're allowed to move closer or farther away, what angles you're allowed to be at. But if I were to ask you to tell me how you do that, you wouldn't know. You would just say, I know how to do it. And yet, when people don't know how to do it, it creeps you out. It creeps you out. Okay, so intuition. Now, Hogarth points out, and this is something very common, right? Hogarth points out that, we have two different terms and we don't realize we're talking about the same thing. We have intuition when we think it's going well, that implicit learning, but we also have bias and prejudice for when we think that implicit learning goes bad. The bigot has got intuitions about races that are wrong. Now, how is it that implicit learning goes wrong? Well, here's the thing. You have some complex pattern in the environment, right? And your implicit learning picks up on it. The problem is there's two kinds of patterns in your environment. There's correlations, there's correlation patterns, and causal patterns. So what do I mean by that? Correlations is when any two things are related to each other. So
just to make sure you're following, okay? Just to make sure you're following. First of all, your intuition and your feelings, not magical, okay? It's your implicit learning, your implicit capacity to pick up on patterns without knowing how you know to do it. You ever look in the clouds and start to see shapes? You ever look on the side of a tree and start and see a face? Hell, you can see faces and all kind of shit. It's this thing. It's not mystical. You can make it mystical, but then you're seeing what you want to see again. And I understand the inclination. It feels good. That ain't it. That ain't it. These folks hyping you about your intuition because it's what you wanted to hear. And they don't know what you need to hear. It's the blind leading the blind. Remember he was talking about the experiment. The person who's blindfolded, can't hear, can't touch. And they bring the people in the room and they report, he'd say, oh, I think somebody's looking at me. I can feel it. And they would be getting it right. Right? They're picking up on patterns. How do they pick up on the pattern? Because they're getting feedback. The person who's doing the experiment will tell them, yes, you're being looked at. No, you're not being looked at. And so the feedback will condition their ability to learn the complex pattern. Okay? So it's a natural process. But how can it go wrong? How does it go wrong? There are two types of patterns. Correlations and causation. Remember, the master student can distinguish and discern. That's why you're not a master student. You could become it, but you can't become something you haven't embraced the fact that you're not it already. Your fucking motivation. Correlation, causation, okay? This is the example I like to give about this idea, okay? To explicate the distinction between correlation and causation. Or because some people will find a correlation and assume it's a causation. Here's the example. There's a researcher, right? And he's studying what causes car pileups on the expressway. You know, the big crashes, 100 cars in the crash, fire, smoke, blood, guts, and ass everywhere, right? They're studying what causes this. And so this researcher, there's a car pileup, and he goes out to the car pileup, and he's collecting data. And what the researcher finds is that every single car that's involved in the car pileup has gas in the tank. Correlation. Correlation. Every single car that's involved in that highway crash has gas in the tank. But he will be wrong to think that gas in the car tank is what causes car pileups. Correlation, causation. When you mix them up, your implicit learning is going astray. This is what happens with y'all listening to these folks and you're in the same little group, man. You're getting feedback. You're learning, you're picking up on a complex pattern and you don't know how you're doing it. You're feeling it and you're getting feedback. What feedback are you getting? Check. Fire. Gems. Y'all hear this nigga? He spit fire. Y'all better listen. This is gems. Everyone in that group is just going to give you positive reinforcement again and again and again. And you'll start to think the correlations are causation. And they're not. You won't even develop a capacity to understand when you don't understand. Logic outweighs emotion. There you go, Tierra. Every single time, bro. Every single time. But people would rather go with what it feels like because that's easy and it's validating. It's easy and it's validating. And nobody wants to get rid of their good feeling. I tell you what, this spiritual work ain't good feelings. It ain't new family. You're lucky if someone facilitates an environment for you to learn and develop family. That's a lot of work. Do you advise us taking notes while you do these lives? Only take notes if notes gonna make a difference to you. I mean, one of the things that are benefits of notes is that writing something makes you chew on the idea. You have to think about it again. Like if I say correlation is not causation, and you just heard me say it and you didn't do anything else, it'll probably leak right out the other ear. But if you stopped and thought about it, correlation is not causation. Correlation is not causation. Because you can pause the video and do that, right? That's one level. That's just you chewing on it a little bit. So it's gonna sink in a little. To write it down, you have to think about it and then put it down. So you're not only using just your listening, you're thinking about it, and you're incorporating the movement of your body. And so it's gonna get in there deeper. If you even go back and read your notes, even more. If you go back and look up the words from your notes, even more. So you don't have to write it down, but I would encourage you to make an effort to dig into what you're hearing. Contend with whether or not you understand. See, just listening and go, I feel it. There's no contending with whether or not you understand. You pause the video. Correlation is not causation. There's a little bit of contending with whether or not you understand. You start to write it down. You start to look up words. You start to go look up the concepts because you can pause the video. Pause. I got to look up what he just said. I'll look up shit right here on live. And motherfuckers still won't feel inclined to look anything up, but they'll tell me they a master student. It's cap. So take notes if it's gonna help. Take notes if it's gonna help. But you gotta get in tune with what's gonna help. And I can tell you right now, just listening ain't enough. Just listening once ain't enough. You have to challenge whether or not you understand what you are hearing. And if you have a general inclination, if you have the desire to be the kind of person who understands what they're hearing, I'd say check twice, 3 times. When I'm doing research on something, and I'm researching something I want to believe, I research it twice as hard. And I'm looking for things that contradict what I want to believe. I'm not looking for confirmation, because I already know I want to believe it. I'm looking for what will contradict what I want to believe. That's learning. That's researching. And most people don't do that. They just look for what will confirm what they want to believe, and then they start teaching it. Fuck out of here. Fire emoji, diamond emoji, hands up with thumbs together. Look, bro, motherfuckers won't even be inclined to articulate a response. They'll just throw in the typical emojis. And y'all motherfuckers eat that up. Oh, man. Well, look, you post a hint, you post a tip, and you don't know whether or not it's good, it makes a difference. What happens? You get feedback. Right? Fire. Hands clapping. Diamond emojis. somebody shares it and points to it, and then you know how motherfuckers will do a video, right? You'll have the other video playing home. Let's see how you do it. You have the other video playing, and they'll just be. And they did that to your video, and now you're getting feedback, and you're not even checking the feedback. You just, ooh, this is confirmation. This is intuition. It's cap. And it's not what master students do. It's not. It's not. Before we finish this.
And if everybody agreeing on the same thing, somebody wrong. You see? Check? Check. All right then. They play on your emotion. Saying nothing well and playing on your emotion. Tell a person what they want to hear and say nothing well. You can say nothing if you can say it well. They play on your emotion. And that's the problem with our people. They have been teaching you what you wanted to hear and not what you really needed to hear because they didn't know what you really needed to hear. That's called the art of public speaking. They play on your emotion. So that's getting your emotion up to a certain level, and you thinking that's spiritual, that's emotionalism. They play on your emotion. And they'll come up and they would come into some stuff and they would be talking all this good stuff and people, yeah. But everybody's ignorant. You see what I'm saying? They play on your emotion. And if everybody agreeing on the same thing, somebody wrong. You see? Check? Check. All right then.
Let me give you an example of a couple of correlations that you shouldn't confuse with causation. There is a correlation between how large your wedding is and how long your marriage will last. If you have a bigger wedding, your marriage will last longer. Now, you would be a fool to therefore think you should have the biggest possible wedding. Because the reason why bigger weddings predict longer marriages is not because bigger weddings cause longer marriages, is because, right, they're only correlated. It's because bigger weddings reflect a bigger social network, more financial resources, and having a bigger social network for the couple, having more financial resources, actually does cause a marriage to last longer. Here's another one. So I'm old enough, right, and I was brought up in a religious household that I was, when prayer was taken out of the schools. And of course, people were very upset about that. Look at crime is going up as we've taken prayer out of the schools and things like that. By the way, crime hasn't been going up. Read some of Steven Pinker's work. But let's say it was. That's only a correlation. Because here's another correlation. We know that greenhouse gases have been going up steadily. And that's part of the environmental crisis we're going to talk about. You know what has been also consistently going down for the exact same time period? Caribbean piracy. Having pirates in the Caribbean and wooden ships with cannons and stuff. As that went down, greenhouse gases went up.
Yeah, so this is all I'm going to do for this part, because I should have exited right here. Look, do you hear the last example he gave? Did you hear the last example he gave? As greenhouse gases go up, Caribbean piracy goes down. I wouldn't even say Caribbean piracy. There's a whole different thing to that. Let's say piracy in big wooden ships has gone down. Okay? Greenhouse gases go up. Piracy in big wooden ships has gone down. Sorry, Luffy. I'm sorry, Luffy. No One Piece there for you. Is that correlation causation? Is it safe to say that if we were to increase piracy in wooden ships, that greenhouse gases would go down? No. I've seen people look at Once again, this is why I tell y'all, when you look at the map of the chakras, right? Let me pull it up. Because y'all will get all deep into correspondences. All right? You'll get all deep into correspondences and miss how symbol works. Why? Because you confuse signs and symbols. You'll miss how symbols work. Everyone's familiar with the chakras that show you the form of the Homo sapien right there, right? And so the conclusion they're coming to is that the chakras are something in your body. No, this is a map of the whole of reality. You need a symbol that's going to represent a whole composed of parts. A whole that's composed of parts. Well, damn. If I'm initiating these motherfuckers and I need an idea of a whole that's made of parts that all my initiates are going to be familiar with. Well, damn, you're animating one. The initiation had three parts of the process. The first part of the process leads the initiate to look at the world around their body. Start to see patterns in it where they did not see them before. What are we doing? We're not only having them look at the world around them to change how they see it, but they're increasing their capacity to pick up on complex patterns. Okay? So they're told to look at the world around them, and they start to see the patterns in it. Second phase, they're told to look at the world of their body and how those same patterns you found there, you can now find here as well. Right? Oh, it's all within you. No, that's not what that means. Because if that's what that meant, then what you would be your body. And that's not the case, right? We know that spiritual occult people. What you isn't your body. Remember, this is just the second of 3 steps in initiation. See, initiation is the very beginning of a long quest. Just because you initiated don't mean you teach. First step, once again, they're directed to look at the world they experience around them. Learn to picking up on the patterns, describe it and see it in a whole different way. The world around them don't change. What changes is the initiate and how they see the world. What changes the initiate and how they see the world. Second step, they're directed to examine the body itself. Their role in this larger pattern that they're seeing. Once again, still directed to look at the physical world. We're getting there. Watch me now. You see those same patterns. You see the same systems and how it all flows together. And now that you've got these 2 directions you've been told to look, the third direction is what sets them up to begin the work. Initiation is getting you ready to begin the work. Now, the initiate is directed to look away from the physical world completely. They've already conditioned themselves to not only pick up complex patterns, but they've been given examples of how those patterns look, how they work, so that when you're put in an environment that you have no context for, which is looking away from the physical world, you're now equipped to begin picking up the patterns there that you would inevitably find. And that is when the work begins. See, motherfuckers want to correspond and correlate this shit to the physical body and then start teaching like you know what you're talking about. And they're wrong. But they're not going to know they're wrong. Why are they not going to know they're wrong? Because they're going to get feedback. And all the feedback is going to say, you're right. Do you know why? Because that's the new rule out here. You can't tell anybody they're wrong. Right? You can't tell anybody they're wrong. You're not allowed to. You're low vibrational. You just don't understand the greater science. All your feedback is going to say, you're right. Remember the experiment we're talking about here with John Vervaeke. Let's say the person is there, blindfolded, can't hear, can't feel nothing. And they bring people in the room to stare at them, and they ask the person who's blindfolded, can you tell when someone's looking at you? And let's say the people running the experiment, every time that person who was blindfolded said, I feel like someone's looking at me, the experimenter told them yes. What would that person be learning? How would that person be learning? See, I get it. You want to go into the group and it feels good to feel like you're someone who's in the group that's so advanced, no one is going to tell you you're wrong. Bro, you ever heard a girl say some shit like, I know I got good pussy. No one's ever complained. I know I get good head. No one's ever complained. Who the fuck complains about head and pussy? But see, it's poor logic. It's believing what you would like to believe. Now tell me, master student, are you doing that? Let me guess. No, not me. I know. See if anybody in your group will disagree. Matter of fact, tell somebody in your group that's wrong. Boom. Come on. So the feedback is the emotionalism coming into play. Right now it is. Because that's the only thing anyone takes is feedback. You tell somebody, you're not listening. Man, fuck you, man. Fuck you, Aries. Hey, dude, you don't understand. Man, fuck you, Aries. I'm advanced. Bruh, you're not listening. We don't Aries. You just confusing. I seen another motherfucker on Instagram today. Not today. It was a few days ago, right? He said something to the effect of, you know what makes no sense? Scorpio being a water sign because Scorpions live on land, and Aquarius being an air sign. Like, I get the word aqua, but the rest of that shit just don't make no sense. His claim is that the thing he's looking at doesn't make sense. Where did he fail? He never suggested to himself that maybe the case is he doesn't understand. Not that the thing don't make sense, that he don't understand. By the way, Scorpions, here we go. Let's look it up. Let me show you. It all be so simple. Not the band. Wait, I'm pretty sure if I click the top here, not to be confused with scorpion, disambiguous. A scorpion is a predatory anthropod. Anthropod. What is an anthropod? That's the word I needed. I knew I didn't know the word right off the top of my head. What is an anthropod? The reason Scorpio is a water sign is because scorpions are anthropods. Look at that. You see the crab? See the shrimp? Butterfly? Centipede? All right, millipede? Wasp? I think that's an ant. Spiders? Lobsters? What is an anthropod? See, that would be the word we use for it today. It's not that Scorpio being a water sign makes no sense. It's that you don't understand. Aquarius being an air sign. What? That doesn't make sense. The name Aqua's there. It should be a water sign. That makes zero sense. No, child. You don't understand. Why Aquarius is the water bearer. Aquarius is the water bearer. What sign comes after Aquarius? Here's Aquarius. Here, let me make it bigger for you. Here's Aquarius. What sign comes after Aquarius? Pisces. It's the water bearer. Think about even the image you'll see. You have Aquarius. What's the water bearer doing? Bringing forth the water. What comes after Aquarius? The water. And this is water in its most evolved form. You start out water in its most natural form. In terms of the development you'll see through the zodiac, this first quadrant is to be unexpressed. Why? Why is water's most natural form to be unexpressed? Because fire's most natural form is to be cardinal. Fire and water are opposites. That's why they're a duality. Two pair of opposites. Two opposites right there. Fire and water. When you add air and earth, now you have a polarity because it's four. See, you do not want to confuse something making no sense and you not understanding. You need to be able to recognize when you don't understand. And you're not going to do that in a room full of people who are only going to tell you check, fire, and facts. You're not going to understand when somebody challenges what you've said and you ain't trying to hear it. You're not going to understand when you don't understand. A master student understands when they don't understand. Speak on Aquarius too. I'm an Aquarius. What do you mean speak on Aquarius? What do you mean speak on Aquarius? Hold on. Are you asking for the zodiac or are you asking for astrology? The zodiac is a fundamental map. There's no methodology on it. There's no you on it. So when you say I'm an Aquarius, what you mean, you're asking for astrology. I don't like to talk about astrology. I'll talk to you about the zodiac. Here, where's the one I did about the zodiac? If I didn't do one on the zodiac, I know that's the one for the next. I'm pretty sure I did one. Or was that back at the that was back in the shitstorm, wasn't it? The fundamental map. Oh, it's 10, 8, 9, 10. I didn't go all the way up there, did I? No. It's back in the shitstorm, man. Let me see. Tree of Life, Education, Metaphysical Maps, the Chakras. I didn't give you guys one on the zodiac. I could have sworn I'd done one on the fucking zodiac. Okay, well that's gonna be next week then. Bro, I could have sworn I did this. I'm sitting here fucking tripping. Metaphysical presuppositions, the chakras, the Tree of Life. Was it this one? Did I go 10, 11, and 12 or I just stay at 10? Did I go 10, 11, and 12 or I just stay at 10? Yeah, I went 10, 11, and 12. What? I went 10, 11, and 12. Yeah, go to Tree of Life Decoded. But listen to the whole thing. Question whether or not you understand. The video is like 5 years ago. Hell yeah, because I've been talked about it. What you think the zodiac gonna change? Hell no, it's not gonna change. In the guild, I offered my books on the fundamental maps. Do I give y'all the fourth one? No, I didn't give you the fourth one because I don't. fuck I hate the fourth one, because motherfuckers don't jump straight to it. That's why I dislike it, to be completely honest. It's because motherfuckers think they're ready to understand the physical world because they're so desperately trying to change the physical world. You gotta give up. You're not gonna get to being able to do any of this until you've completely surrendered. That means what you feel and what you want, let it go. You're not going to be able to get towards this until what you feel and what you want ain't in the way. Hell yeah, the video like 5 years old, because I've been doing this shit, bro. I've been doing this shit for a minute. You did those short videos on Zodiac. What is the Zodiac? Okay, so it must have been one of the shorter videos. It was probably from the first season of the shitstorm. Because I wasn't titling my videos back then. I just put the episode number. That's what I'm saying, man. Motherfuckers swear they ready to hear the explanation on something and that their fundamentals are sound. And you question their fundamentals and they don't know what to do with themselves. I tell your ass, hey, bruh, you're a beginner. You ain't even close. Oh, no, Eric. Remember, that's not what you want to hear. That's not what you want to hear. You don't want to hear me tell you you're a beginner. You're a beginner. You don't want to hear that. Hey, look, motherfucker asking for a new video. So how many of these videos you going through? None. Do your other teachers do this? No. But you just ready, right? You just a nigga that's ready to get the step-by-step. Boy, if I gave you the step-by-step, you'd be hurt. You'd be capping. You'd be lying about whether or not you understand it. Yeah, bro, I have so much original content. Fuck out of here. These niggas is weak. Where did I do it? Now, this is Who Was Rum. I did that all the way back in the day, my nigga. Hold on. Is there a search feature? Is there a search feature in there? Is it under filters somehow? No. Search across your channel. Duh, look at that. Zodiac. The Zodiac and astrology. Yeah, let's do it. Ooh, yeah, boy, this is an old one. Fuck you talking about? Yeah, 4 years old. Here, let's fuck with it. Calm Flames. Good to see you in the chat. Your picture looks familiar. Or I'm confusing it with someone else. Anyway, welcome to the show. I see you already retracted one of your messages. What secrets are you hiding? I know, it's alright. Don't be a dick. Here, let's look at it. Here, I'll even look at it with you. Give me a hand. We're gonna look both ways. No, you're not big enough to go yourself. Come on. Give me a hand. We're looking. Alright, we're gonna walk, okay? Don't run. Stop it. We're gonna walk. Come on, let's go. First of all, I want to go ahead and make some clear distinctions between astronomy, astrology, and the zodiac. Astronomy is the study of celestial bodies, okay? Stars, moons, asteroids, planets. Astrology, okay, is going to take the knowledge of the zodiac, which is what we're talking about here in this video today, and maps it over the stars, basically, okay? The zodiac does not have anything to do with astronomy or astrology. Okay, astrology uses the zodiac as a tool. It uses astronomy as a tool and puts them together. Okay? The main thing to remember about the zodiac is it's a circle. We're talking about the circle. And so because our planet moves in not necessarily a circle but an elliptical pattern, which is likened into a circle, okay, because it goes through the 360 degrees, you can take that 360 degrees and map it across the zodiac. I can already tell I cut this video down from a longer video. So there's a long form version of this. There's gotta be. Let me see. I'm gonna do it again. But we're gonna keep listening to it. Intro to Metaphysics, the Zodiac. Boy, they said, see, this is old school. This is old school. Remember what I said? Remember what I said a master student does? Remember what I said a master student does? Questions whether or not they understand what's being said. I be saying the same shit. I'm better at it now because I have 4 years of practice. I literally just watched this video yesterday. Okay, wonderful. See, now you watch the video. How much did you challenge whether or not you understood what you heard? Because remember, like I told y'all, I'm not good at doing cars. I'm not. And so if somebody gave me all the steps I need to know on how to change a transmission or a catalytic converter. See, I know the word catalytic converter. I know the word transmission. Does that mean I know what it is? How it works? How it functions? No. And if somebody were to tell me, I'm not even equipped to understand. A master student knows when they don't understand. So make sure that's what I was saying. Oh, what did you say you don't understand? You asked me to go over it. You said you watched the video yesterday. I don't see you saying you understand. You don't understand. And not only that, you got to see because this is down that path. Once you can start to acknowledge where you don't understand, now you got to see what or where do I not understand. Now, if the answer is I don't understand any of it, that just means you're ill-equipped. Like, once again, somebody came and explained to me catalytic converters, and I said, bro, I don't understand anything you just said. I'm completely ill-equipped to even comprehend his explanation. Because I can tell you what, I'm speaking the English language. Do you understand that? You could have started there, but you didn't. There's something you understand. And that helps to define what you don't understand. Did you understand the word the, of, zodiac, planet? Look, see, there are some things you understand. How can someone be a master student? That's what the whole video is about, dude. That's what the whole video is about. And first and foremost, you cannot be impressed with yourself for doing this compared to people who don't do this. If you compare your level of knowledge on spirituality to people who don't do any research, you're not winning. You're not a master student. If you don't know how to tell when you don't understand and then how to begin to understand, you're not a master student. So serious. So serious. If you listen to someone say something, you need to be able to pick out what you understand and where you don't understand. Not based on how you feel, but whether or not you can challenge your understanding of that. See, this is what I'm talking about. That's the feedback for yourself that you have to cultivate. Your capacity to understand, to tell when you do or don't understand. That way, you're not just repeating Travis Majors and reading the same book and claiming to be a teacher. Well, I'm a student too. We're all students. No, you're not. Trav's a teacher. What the fuck are you doing? Repeating what he said as if you're a teacher. Ever seen kids play house? Now, you ain't running the house. I joined late. Okay, you joined late. You joined late. Okay, I'm telling you now. Don't justify it. Don't justify it. Ain't no need to. Don't justify it. All right, what was that? Look, we can go through this shit real quick. I don't even mind. So yeah, when you're watching these things, bro, you need to, and that's what part of because the asking the notes was a good question. That's how you start to build, okay, this is what I know understand. This is the part I don't understand. Because remember, you can pause the video as you listen. You hear him say something? I think I understand that. I'm going to go back and challenge that. You hear him say something else? Oh, I don't think I understand that. I'm going to have to review that a little bit. Now you already got two categories of things for you to review. You can challenge what you think you understand and then start to look up things that you know you don't understand. See, a master student don't just listen to the video, feel good, and then jump out into the world. That's what a baby does. That's what a baby does. Master student is researching and studying, is challenging their own understanding, not looking for confirmation, especially not from a room full of people who won't disagree with you. Zodiac is a circle. That's the whole point. That's the biggest point about the zodiac, is it's mapping out the path of a circle. Why a circle, right? Circle is symbolizing the same thing fire is. The zodiac is a story of fire. That's where it begins. It's the story of fire. What do you mean fire? Not like the flame, dude. Like one of the four elements. The zodiac is mixing 4 and 3. At first, 3 gives rise to 4. That's the first big place where we have a controversy in manifestation. The creation versus the created. Then, after 3 gives rise to 4, you hit 7. What is 7? 7 is 3 and 4 put together. Not one giving rise to the next, but the two right next to each other. 3 plus 4 is 7. That's why it's the next big crux. But then, what is zodiac? Zodiac is 12. It's not 3 giving rise to 4. It's not 3 and 4 next to each other. It's 3 and 4 mixed. Okay? That's why 12 is significant. Because if you're telling me what your zodiac sign is, especially just your sun sign, you're talking about astrology. Okay? That's a methodology. In order to properly and appropriately apply that methodology, you have to have a firm understanding of the fundamentals. And that doesn't mean just repeating the names of the sign, repeating the name of its element, its correspondence. You got to know why the zodiac is 12 and not 11 or 13. See, all these folks talking about a 13th zodiac sign, they don't understand the zodiac. Especially when they're trying to correlate it to constellations. It ain't got shit to do with constellations. Astrology has something to do with constellations. Why? Because astrology takes the zodiac and astronomy and puts them together to create a methodology. The zodiac ain't got shit to do with constellations. The zodiac ain't got shit to do with constellations. It ain't got shit to do with AU. That's astrology. Remember, the master student learns to discern and distinguish, not just repeat what they've been told. Not just repeat what they're confident in. Yeah, you're going to have a lot of people fucking up. Why? Because talk is cheap and anybody can say anything and you're not allowed to challenge anyone. So you're going to go out here and you're going to find a lot of people doing bullshit with astrology. You're going to find a lot of people doing bullshit with astrology. Do you know why? Bullshit sells. And you'll eat it up. No, Eric, I'm above that. I'm not that kind of person. I'll be damned. I'll be fucking damned. I'll be fucking damned. The motherfucker who swear they above bullshit is the most susceptible to it. You think I'm not susceptible to bullshit? That's how I know. You have to put contingencies in your thinking, in the way you move, in how you move, in order to help stop yourself from falling prey to bullshit. I'm using bullshit in this sense in a technical term. It's a technical term. So astrology, this is a methodology. That's why you can put a U in it. That's why it has something to do with a U. Like astronomy. There's no you in it. The zodiac, there's no you in it. Astrology, yes. What I love about the zodiac is it shows the way, because at first, remember, when 3 gives rise to 4, this is a huge step in manifestation. Creation versus the created. It's a huge controversy metaphysically. What 12 does, it shows you the inner workings of that relationship. And it's mixed 3 and 4 together to where you can see all of the elements within each other. Where's my diagram? Once again, no one else has original content. Let me show you. Once again. What's the difference between you and da-da-da-da-da-da? Fuck you mean? Fuck you mean? Here we go. We'll use this one. Because technically, this is the same picture I'm using here, but it's hard to tell because you can't see it the same way, so I had to lay it out differently. These are the 4 quadrants of the zodiac, okay? Fire is starting the first one. But look at the one that's unexpressed. Expressed. Look, fire, earth, and air are expressed in the first quadrant. Water is unexpressed. If you look across the zodiac in the complete opposite way, this is where water is exalted. It's the highest and strongest it gets. Okay? This side is unexpressed. Here, they're defining each other. They characterize each other. They condition each other. Define, characterize, condition. Perfect words to look up. To challenge whether or not you understood what I said. Here, what's unexpressed? Earth. Why? Because it's exalted in the first one. You get to see how these, what do you call them? How these elements and these modalities facilitate that relationship between 3 and 4. And see, once again, I'm not talking about a you. I'm not talking about a you. There's no method. I'm not talking about a methodology. How do I apply this to my day-to-day life? This ain't got shit to do with your day-to-day life. But that's what the motherfuckers are here to try and fix their day-to-day life. But that's ain't what this is for. You gotta let go of your day-to-day life. You just swear that shit is so important. And then you want to pretend like you don't really care, like you're above that. No, you're not. No, you're fucking not. Where's the, here. This one. Look, watch fire. There we go, yeah. Watch fire. Watch fire move. Do it again. Boop, boop, boop. Hey, pick a different color. Pick a different element. All right. Here, watch Earth. Boop, boop, boop. Do you see how they're moving with each other? They define one another. None of them exist without the other 3. That is what the zodiac shows you. God, I'm so angry. I'm not angry at you for not knowing. I'm angry at motherfuckers who will claim to be teachers and presenters and not know. But, just like Bobby Hemming said, they don't know what you need to know. 13 signs because they were trying to hide the power of the femininity, right? Insert a bunch of pictures with correspondences of the number 13 in astrology and pussy. Thank you, Amara. Look, they'll see a bunch of correlations and say, well, this must be causation, right? Don't you want, well, why you think they do this? Why you think they do that? That's a suggestion of causation. Why you think that's the case? Using a question to make a statement. Why you think that's the case? So they can draw you into the conclusion they'd like you to believe. But ain't no 13th zodiac sign. Because the zodiac ain't got shit to do with constellations. God damn it, bruh. And look, here, where's the picture I like to use of the zodiac? This one. I love this one. It's because it's got that big center. It's got that hole in the center. Look, there's 13 on the zodiac. Right there. It's a result of all 12. It's a result of all 12. Why is it a result of all 12? Here we go. Because look, you're looking at it from one angle. It looks like you're going around in a circle. An upward movement, an upward spiraling movement. But the steps themselves are 12-fold. But what are they outlining? What are they tracing? They're tracing something that wasn't there before. Or they're conditioning a path that wasn't there anymore. Look at that. Look at how they're tracing that inner circle. Where do you see that again? In the Taurus. Because look, one-dimensional, two-dimensional, and three-dimensional. That same spiraling movement. Moving forward and then still back looping on itself. See, motherfuckers are familiar with the Ouroboros. It's easy to say it and tell it to a dead nigga, but you don't know what you're looking at. This has nothing to do with you. Ah, here it is. The Anu. This is a hyperboloid and a torus, both moving at the same time. I like this picture of it better too, to be completely honest. But this one doesn't have motion in it. It's showing the arrows so you can see the motion across the surface of the torus, because the torus is that donut shape, and up and back down the middle, which is the hyperboloid. It's the two coming together, masculine and feminine, creating something new. Shiv and Shakti, Purushna, Prakriti. It's not about learning new words. It's about understanding the underlying principles. Spiral out. I don't know. What do you mean by that? Good to see you jump into the game, Calm Flames. Are we all on different soul levels, as in our soul being old or a new soul on earth? Bruh. To answer that question, you'd have to know what a soul is. And for soul to mean something, you're going to have to be invoking some particular framework. Okay. This is how the question sounds to me. It's not because you're bad for asking the question. You have to. So you have to see this for yourself. Remember, I'm not good with cars, right? I know enough to know I'm not good with cars. And so, does the catalytic converter make the heart of the car move the front seat? Does the catalytic converter, when it connects to the transmission, make the heart of the car move the front seat? What the fuck does the catalytic converter have to do with moving the front seat? What the fuck is the heart of a car? That's how that question sounds. Because look, this is what that question is implying. It's suggesting, right? A soul having different levels, there being such a thing as a young or old soul. Okay, so all those things you're suggesting to have knowledge of in order to even ask that question. The fourth thing was soul on earth. As if souls are on the planet. You're suggesting a lot of prior knowledge when asking the question, but the question itself shows you don't have any of that prior knowledge. When the catalytic converter connects to the transmission, does the heart of the car then move the front seat forward? See, I'm not mad at you. I'm trying to show you. Because motherfuckers will ask questions like this and they think they're on the edge of something, but they haven't comprehended how deeply they don't understand any of this. Because look, I know there's somebody out there who's worse at cars than me, who don't even know what a catalytic converter is, don't even know one exists. I don't know if that shit connects to the transmission. Those are two words I know, and I put them together in a question. Then I added something that feels nice, the heart of the car, to something I think I want to know because I'm familiar with it, the front seat moving. Does the catalytic converter, when it connects to the transmission, influence the heart of the car to move the front seat? That's how that question looks, bro. A catalytic converter is an exhaust emission control device that converts toxic gases and pollutants in exhaust gas from an internal combustion engine. Does it have anything to do with the transmission? I have no idea. I really have no idea. Because bro, I just made that up based on, once again, words that I felt, I know, mixed with something else I feel I understand, and then add a little bit of what I know in my personal experience. That's what that question just did. Bro, here's the catalytic converter. It's right here now by the exhaust. Here we go. Well, it's a part of the exhaust system. Okay, where's the catalytic converter? And see, it's under where I think the transmission would be. Like, I think the transmission would be right above this. Like this little secondary heated O2 sensor. I would think maybe it touches the transmission because I would think the transmission is above that. But I don't know. To be completely honest, I don't know. Like, when you ask that question, it presumes not only do you know what soul is, and to do that, you'd have to be invoking a particular framework that contained a soul. Like when we talk about cells, cells are part of a framework that contain that concept. And I can point to the framework, biology. What the fuck is a soul? Not telling you it don't exist, not telling you there's no such thing. What the fuck is it? Then we move forward. Different levels, different soul levels. Ooh, that sounds nice. Old and new souls? Look, anything that's gonna make you feel like you're special somehow, toss it. Toss it. It's gonna get in your way. Stop trying to find a way where you're special and unique from everyone else. Stop. You're not gonna get where you want to get to with that. Unless, of course, all you really wanted was to feel special. Because look, let's say all that shit was true, and then I told you, yeah, there's such thing as old souls, and they're on a higher level of soul level from other people on Earth. Ooh, what's that gonna do, right? First thing you're gonna want to find out: am I one of the old souls? Or you're going to start clothing your feelings in what I just said, right? Well, I've always felt like I'm an old soul, like I was special and unique, and nobody really knew how to say it, but now I'm understanding the information. It's cap! Oh, they say use the main definition, but ain't no main definition. When you ask the inquirer what they mean, they'll just ask you what you think it means and use your definition, negating their own original context. Because they had no original context, Ryan Morrow. They had no original context, and they're just playing with the words. It's rhetoric. I know. I like rhetoric. I'm good with rhetoric. It's one of the 7 liberal arts. It's one of the 7 liberal arts. Rhetoric. Oh, fuck my car up pretending to know about that shit, but I'm doing that with the spiritual shit. There you go, Amar. Yes. If I tried to fix my car with that bullshit I just said, I'd fuck my car up. And then imagine I did that, fucked my car up, and took it to somebody who didn't know either, and asked him if I fucked my car up. Right? And that motherfucker don't want to tell me no. So now I done fucked my car up with some bullshit idea, and I took it to someone I want to feel is an expert, and they validated me. Now I'm walking around with a broke car like it's fixed. Come on, bro. I'm trying to tell y'all.
And if everybody agreeing on the same thing, somebody wrong. You see? Check? Check. All right then. They play on your emotion. Saying nothing well and playing on your emotion. Tell a person what they want to hear and say nothing well. You can say nothing if you can say it well. They play on your emotion. And that's the problem with our people. They have been teaching you what you wanted to hear and not what you really needed to hear because they didn't know what you really needed to hear. That's called the art of public speaking. They play on your emotion. So that's getting your emotion up to a certain level, and you thinking that's spiritual, that's emotionalism. They play on your emotion. And they'd come up and they would come into some stuff and they would be talking all this good stuff and people, yeah.
I just saw your comment, right? Relax, good. Relax, you good. I just saw your comment. You aim for perfection. Who the fuck wouldn't? Perfection is a process. So you don't put me on a pedestal. Don't put me on a pedestal. This is one of those moments of truth. This is your opportunity to change how you see yourself. Don't color me. Look at him. He aims for perfection. That's not what our engagement just now should be teaching you. That I aim for perfection. What does it say about you? Because you're not aiming for perfection. You're aiming for validation, for what feels good. Because look, bro, I could have so easily took your question, fed you some bullshit you wanted to hear. Are there different soul levels and old soul to new souls? Well, that's a really good question. Boom, hero cookie. Y'all can learn a lot from his question. Hero cookie. See, here's what thing is. Here's what it is. There are different soul levels. Soul family, soul flames, twin soul flames, and soul flame family twin flames. A lot of that comes from, like you said, having old souls and new souls. And this was a channel I got the other night, right? Because this is why I love this. Because nothing happens randomly. The channel I got last night told me that today somebody would ask me a question about old souls and new souls. And I didn't know if I wanted to believe it. Confirmation. We on the same level, bro. See, this is what happens, family, when you get in here and you do the work. The fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Motherfuckers would eat it up. I know, because I watch y'all motherfuckers eat it up. But I'm bad because I walked into the room and said, y'all are jerking each other off. There's comb all over the floor. Spit lube in everybody's hand. Spit lube in a dick in everybody's hand. That's not their own dick. Comb all over the floor, but I'm the dick in the room. Gotcha. Y'all motherfuckers in here jerking each other off with emojis. Thank you for not letting me BS. Just make me feel good. Oh yeah, bro. I can't do it. See, that's what it is. Cause I'm imperfect as fuck. I got plenty of imperfections. I got plenty of things I don't know. Plenty of things I don't understand. I'm not gonna feed you bullshit. Oh, if I can fucking help it, I'm not gonna feed you bullshit. And if I find out I was feeding you bullshit, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna let you know, bro. Asha. I don't know what that means anymore. Is that Ashe? Is that Ashe? Oh, Dawson been in there in the shadows. Good to see you in the chat, Dawson. Yeah, bro. Jerking each other off with fucking emojis. And motherfuckers is thinking, let me rewind this video.
If everybody agreeing on the same thing, somebody wrong. You see? Check? Check. All right then. They play on your emotion. Saying nothing well and playing on your emotion. Tell a person what they want to hear and say nothing well. You can say nothing if you can say it well. They play on your emotion. And that's the problem with our people. They have been teaching you what you wanted to hear and not what you really needed to hear because they didn't know what you really needed to hear. That's called the art of public speaking. They play on your emotion. So that's getting your emotion up to a certain level, and you thinking that's spiritual, that's emotionalism. They play on your emotion. And they'll come up and they would come into some stuff and they would be talking all this good stuff and people, yeah. But everybody's ignorant. You see what I'm saying? They play on your emotion. And if everybody agreeing on the same thing, somebody wrong. You see? Check? Yeah. All right then.
Now, I've been thinking about this. I'm gonna have me a channel where I just read spooky books. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be the spooky book audiobook dude. I'm gonna just do that on the side, right? I'm gonna get so many. Got your ass. Get over here. Come get this work. Amar said Dawson was unexpressed. Look, see? Amar was paying attention. Good to see you in the chat, man. Hello. Good. Better late than never, Dawson. You can always rewind it, which is beautiful. You know, you go to a lecture in the college, you can't rewind that shit. Hey man, motherfuckers are spoiled for choice, still want something free. So feeding people bullshit is mainstream basically, and the real work isn't equipped with emotionalism. Exactly. A big part of that, the getting initiating process. See, once again, all the mystery schools are gone. As a matter of fact, most people who are doing this work think they're above having to go through the process of initiation. You can't get around it. You're gonna get initiation completely tailored to you. And so you can't use how you feel to guide you. In order to do this work, a master student, initiate yourself, you're going to have to become a master student. Which means you have to challenge your understanding of what you hear. You have to try and find a way to contradict what it is you want to confirm. You have to find a way to contradict what it is you want to confirm. You have to be dedicated to it as a lifestyle. How do I make this part of my everyday life? Every fucking day. Researching, challenging your own understanding. Not in a motivational, inspirational sense. What did I just hear that person say? Do I understand what it means? I understand this part. I don't understand this part. Here, I said I understand this part. Let me challenge whether or not I understand it. I said I don't understand this part. Let me go learn something about it right now. You got all of the internet in your pocket all the fucking time. The only thing separating you from what you're looking for is asking the appropriate question. The only thing separating you and the information you're looking for is asking the appropriate question. Not asking any question with random pieces of things you kind of think you get. Half of finding the answer is asking the specific and appropriate question. Rocky, good to see you in the chat. Welcome to the show. See more of that video? So fucking great. That would be a case study for NLP. Every time you play that video, it reminds me of an example of The Simpsons. It is, right? That's when I talked about bullshit in the shitstorm. I played that video. Let me see if I can find it again. Let me see. I don't even know how to see. Look, half of finding the appropriate thing I'm looking for is asking the right question, and I don't even know exactly what to look for. I just know it was an election speech. It was when the aliens were there. Here it is. Twirling towards freedom. Okay, here, listen to it. Remember, this is bullshit.
My fellow Americans, as a young boy, I dreamed of being a baseball. But tonight I say we must move forward, not backward, upward, not forward, and always twirling towards freedom. Yeah!
Classic bullshit. When I was a child, my fellow Americans, I dreamed of being a baseball. We said baseball. Fellow Americans, I'm included. Baseball, I know that. That's American. I'm telling you. The motherfuckers will just eat it up. Clap, clap, clap. Look, here, check this out. Relax, you're good. You was asking me about money. Look into crypto. Look into crypto. Not for price action, for the technology. For the technology. I've been telling motherfuckers do that for the longest. I'm telling motherfuckers do that shit for the longest. Whatever. No, don't ask me where or what. Look into all of it. Understand what you're looking at. Dive in. Take the fucking journey. There's no way around the journey. But every time you have a new rabbit hole to go in, just assume you're going to have to take the scenic route. No shortcuts. No corners cut. The only one if you could do that, the only one you'd be cheating is yourself. No shortcuts. No corners. Get your ass in the rabbit hole. It's tight in here. It's dark. Well, how do I know how deep to go? Get lost. Get lost. Get lost in there. And then find your way back. Remember those old initiation rituals where they used to tell the little boy, go in the forest. Here's your knife. Go in the forest for a month. And don't come back until you have the vision. Nah, but everybody want to get around that shit. Are these con artist people wrong to be feeding these people bullshit? Hell no. Motherfuckers is wrong for buying it. See? That takes the blame off of them. Because they look at the bullshit and just like you see it and want to buy it and think there's value there, they think they're giving you value too. The blind leading the blind. Just like Bobby said, they don't know what you need to know. They don't know. They know what they know is that if they come in here, say these words, check, fire, facts, we tapping in. I got that feeling. Ooh, my intuition is telling me that this is my family. Ooh, who else feel that in here? Give me a check. 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 Do some of them even know that they're even feeding people bullshit? They don't know because they don't even stop to think whether or not they could be fucking up. Just like I gave you an example earlier. Dude was like, you know what makes 0 sense? Scorpio as a water sign and Aquarius as an air sign. Ha ha ha! It's not that it makes 0 sense. It makes a lot of sense. The issue is he didn't understand. And there was nowhere in his thinking to check that. That's the issue. Because they free to sell bullshit. We all free to do whatever the fuck we want to. They free to sell bullshit. They're not obligated not to sell you bullshit. It's up to you not to buy that shit. That's all I can do. All I can do is set y'all up to be able to discern and distinguish. Seymour, talking about money, I stopped watching videos of how to get rich and started watching videos why most people aren't. Far more challenging. Look, because what does it do? It points the finger at you, right? And so you have to examine your own way of thinking. Because you in the pool of people who aren't rich. And so if they're talking about why motherfuckers ain't rich, they clearly talking about you, right? Love it. See, remember, what the initiate is doing is changing themselves. The world isn't changing. What's changing is you. Look, the image isn't changing. What's changing is your perception of it. The world is already perfect. It don't need to change, and your dedication to try to change it is what's fucking you up even more. Hell yes, man. Hell yes. Bruh, I'm so serious. Bruh, right now, the entire global economic system is changing. The way money works is changing. Again. You probably never heard of this. Why? Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. I know I put an I in there and there shouldn't have been an I in there. The Bretton Woods Agreement. Okay. This is back around when we go on to the gold standard. All right. And the US dollar as a global standard. All right. After this agreement, the way money works, the way finance works, money, finance, not the same thing. The way finance works completely changed. An agreement under which gold was the basis for the US dollar and other currencies were pegged to the US dollar's value. Because this is after 1933. Because in 1933, the United States government made it they did a buyback program from U.S. citizens to collect their gold and take it out of circulation. All right. Because before, gold certificates for a while were in circulation, gold and silver certificates. Because motherfuckers who ain't paying attention wouldn't know. Once again, I want to make money. I want to have money. Boy, you don't even know what the fuck money is. You don't know how it works. Look, that look like a Federal Reserve note, don't it? Look, just like a Federal Reserve note, don't it? It's not. It's not. Look just like a Federal Reserve note, don't it? It's not. I actually have some of these. These are silver certificates. Look just like a Federal Reserve note, don't it? It's not. Look just like a Federal Reserve note, don't it? Here, let me show you a Federal Reserve note. Here we go. And then there's the old school ones. I got a few of these. Some of the old school ones. What's this say at the top? Federal Reserve note. Let me guess, that's money? I want to get money. Boy, motherfuckers make me sick. I'll be alright. Yo, night shift is fun. Morning, guys. Welcome to the show, Society Ejex. Good to see you in the chat, man. Look, you have to run it back. It's alright, though. Well, look, money. Bretton Woods Agreement changed how money works globally. How money works globally is changing again. Oh, it's a distraction! From what? How money is changing? How money works is changing globally. What did Rockefeller do? I care not who the politicians are, something like that. If you allow me to control their monetary system, I will control the country. Let's see. Mayor Amschel Rothschild. Permit me to issue and control the money of a nation, and I care not who makes its laws. There you go, Seymour, the creature from Jekyll Island. Jekyll Island was right down here in Georgia. Federal Reserve Bank. Do you even know the history of banking? What is a bank? Oh no, I want to get money. The way money works is changing. And it's all public. It has to be. That's why there's so many distractions. Trump, Biden, Kamala, Israel, Iran, Putin. Talking about that shit like it's fucking football teams. It's a show. But only thing between you and what you want to know, what you need to know, is asking the appropriate questions. Hold on, let me see. Let's see if I can find that clip from that movie. I'll probably get fucking, what you call it, a strike, but I don't monetize my videos anyway. Have you noticed that? My videos, you don't get an ad cut in. If anything, YouTube like trying to throw an ad in at the very end of the video, but y'all never get to the end because you're too busy doing other things. Whatever the fuck, right? Fiat money. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Check your constitutions. Anyway, check this one.
Is there something you want to say to me?
I'm sorry. My responses are limited. You must ask the right questions.
Why would you kill yourself?
That, detective, is the right question. Program terminated.
Y'all remember that scene from iRobot? That's what I'm talking about. The answer you get is dependent upon the question you ask. You gotta ask the appropriate question. If you don't even know how to formulate a question, that's what you need to go start to think about. How to formulate a question. Because the answer you get is dependent upon the question you asked. You can know anything as long as you ask the right questions. As long as you know when to be asking the right questions. Ever seen one of them interrogations? I'll ask the questions here. Why? Whoever's asking the questions is in control. And some motherfuckers don't even know how to formulate a question. Reminds me of the picture you showed with homie with the chain and ball on his feet. Which picture is that? Chain and ball. Or is it the gold chain? Is it the gold one? Look, man, your ignorance is the chain and ball. And you're never going to get a clear view of your ignorance if you're impressed with your progress because you're comparing yourself to motherfuckers who don't do this. If you're comparing your progress in spirituality to people who don't do it at all, you're ignorant. You're not going to get a good idea of the progress you're making. If you're only in rooms with people who you're not allowed to disagree with, you're not going to progress. You'll feel better. By all means. You'll feel better. Yeah, go ahead. But how you're feeling isn't tracking whether or not you're advancing, becoming better, understanding, comprehending. Now the one where it looks like he's on a board game. It's black and white picture. Let me see if it'll come up. I don't know. I can't even think of the image you're talking about. I really can't. Not to say I never showed it. I can't even think of the image you're talking about. See, look, the image don't come up because I ain't asked the right question. I can't even think of the image. If you ever do find it, let me know. I can't even remember it. Or if you remember where you saw me put it up. Yeah, I can't remember. Oh yeah, look, you wanna manifest your reality the way you want it. You have to stop lying to yourself, bullshitting yourself about the reality you perceive. And if you're caught up in how you feel and what you want, you're bullshitting yourself. You're lying to yourself. It's okay to have feelings. It's okay to have wants. over here. Not right here. Over here. Look, I still got it, but it's not in my way. I'm not using it to look through. I'm not using it to determine where I'm going. Here, that's what I'm doing. Boom. Look, I still have them, but they're not in my way. It's in your file. You used to show it at the beginning of your videos. No, I'm curious. It's not in the study material, is it? I doubt it's in the study material. For those in the guild, I give them a whole section of study material. But you know, that's what happens. People just look and they like, oh, I get all this Aries. I don't need this. Take it for granted. You're good. No, I'm good. No, I'm good. No, it's not in the study material. I know it's not. I kept ignoring it. Now I'm starting to work with them. Oh, dealing with that right now. Want a life goal, but keep getting that interrupted by feelings. Oh yeah, them feelings are how you in circles, boy. I feel this, but I feel like, but I just feel like, I don't know, I just kind of want to, shut the fuck up. You're not going to get there doing that. That's your intuition. Damn, now I'm really curious about what that picture is. A ball and chain. I used to put it in front of my videos. I'm so curious now. Fuck. This is gonna bother me, Seymour. Damn it. Do I think college is BS? Well, look, you done asked me that a couple times. Look, if you know what you want to do with college, okay. It's not BS. If you have no idea what you want to do with it, or how going to college will help you, then it's not for you. College itself may or may not be BS. There's parts of it I think are most certainly BS, but I mean, if you're gonna go there and get something that you need, don't matter if it's BS. Because look, I can tell you everything is BS. Then what do? That's not what you want. You want to be able to detect it. Don't just look for somebody's opinion on the thing. Because I can tell you, hell no, college is awful. I can tell you, hell yeah, college is great. Do you know how to figure that out for yourself? That's what you want to start looking at. And do you recommend it for us to go to college? I recommend y'all, look, this is the information age. If you just want information, you need to learn how to ask the appropriate questions. You need to learn how to think. You need to start researching, studying. You can learn most anything you can go to college and learn if you just want the information. If you want the certification, if you want the validation of that certificate, because sometimes you need it to get a specific job or to perform a certain task, then go get it. It's as simple as that. I just know Rothschilds made the schooling system. And they made a lot of stuff. But the schooling system is made to create workers. It's made to create workers. As I said, if you go to college to get a particular job and you know you can do it, okay, go get a particular job. See, none of that is spiritual. None of that's metaphysical. Oh, shit. I'm having fun, bro. But yeah, look, it's about changing how you think, guys. It really is. The world don't change. The world ain't changing. It's you and how you think. And that may seem like it's little, it's small, it's nonchalant. It's the difference you're seeing here. And what's changing is how you're seeing the image. The image, the movement, all of it's staying the same. It's perfect. It is what it is. What changes is how you see. Then feelings is a bitch, but sometimes we use feelings for excuses. There you go. I don't feel like going to work, but my ass go to work. But when it comes for me practice doing film, I let them feelings stop me. Hell yeah. Well, you got to have direction. You got to know where you want to get to. If you just kind of perusing your way around, yeah, feelings gonna direct you. If you got a direction you going, bruh, feelings ain't gonna stop you. They're gonna hurt. They're gonna get in your way. They're gonna do what they do. But you can't let that stop you. Like I said about bullshit. Bullshit gonna be there. Bullshit artists gonna be there. Can't stop them. It takes so much more effort and time to clean up shit than it does to make it. I can shit on the floor right now. 5 seconds. It might take me about 20. Okay, so excuse me. Sorry, I'm not that regular and loose. 5 seconds. Boom. No, let's even say it takes me a minute to shit on the floor. The amount of time it's going to take to clean that up thoroughly, efficiently, is exponentially longer. That's why I can't go out here and clean up the bullshit for you. All I can do is get you ready to face it. All I can do is equip you to learn to call bullshit. Them feelings be owning me. Yeah, you gotta have something else. You gotta have something else. You gotta have something else. Do it there. 5 second speed shit. Look, before you know, that's gonna be an Olympic competition. God, that's awful. I just got the aftertaste of the fact that may end up being true, and it was like kind of distasteful. I'm not even gonna lie. All right, look, this is me for today, guys. I appreciate y'all coming through, listening. Please, I can't do it for you, and I'm gonna laugh at you when you get shit on your shit. I'm going to. Hell, bro, I probably laugh at everything. No Diddy, not that loose. Look, no Diddy. Well, no, if you look at the Olympics games today, that shit look real Diddy. You seen the opening thing? That shit look real Diddy, bro. I'm just saying. And they had a little baby in that motherfucker, bro. Anyways, I'm done being that. Y'all have a wonderful evening.